For the next 5 days or so, two parliamentary standing committees, namely Natural Resources and the other on Economics and Public Administration, will be engaging different stakeholders just to discuss the state of mining and energy sectors here at the Seaside Hotel in Swakopmund. Now, earlier on, Honorable Chekero Tweya, who is the chairperson of the Committee on Natural Resources, opened the event and emphasized that this meeting is actually aimed at having a comprehensive and honest and a constructive dialogue about Namibia's natural resources under the Ministry of Mines and Energy and how these resources are actually managed. But to talk to me about this, I am now joined by Honorable Chekero Tweya himself. Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Renate, and good afternoon, Namibia.
Well,
Thank you for having me.
Well, Honorable, some critics might be sitting there and say, but Mr. Chekero Tweya, this meeting is not really so important. What's the use of having talks and many other discussions? However, you said in your opening remarks that this is an opportunity for us to do the best for our country in terms of changing the way we have been managing our resources. Can you please talk to us about that?
Thank you very much. Parliament has got the responsibility of oversight. Now, oversight is not a once-off, supposed to take place on an annual basis. Now, the committees or committee could not do that as is prescribed. We had too many fires to extinguish, and this is why we have not been able to do it on an annual basis. So, within the 5 years, it is still the right time. We decided to have a joint dialogue or engagement or conversation joined with another committee dealing with economics, because when you extract these resources, you don't keep it in your bedroom. You trade with them as a commodity, and that is where it falls in the mandate of the other committee. This is why we are doing it jointly. It is, in our view, the right time when we decide to do it. But also, the time is correct because we see and we have seen demonstrations of people expressing their unhappiness over the management of these resources. What best time when the fire is burning with this demonstration, the peace is disturbed, and they are questioning the governance, they are questioning the benefit from their resources. So to us, every time we do it is the right time, and this is the right time. And we, unfortunately, have to do it as lawmakers because the allegations, the blame game is that you, our representatives in Parliament, you are not passing laws to protect our resources, because these resources can be depleted very fast. And your responsibility in terms of the mandate given by the Constitution is sustainable utilization, harvesting of these resources. When must it be done? It must be done when we have to do it, and this is the time.
Honorable Tweya, there's always this debate about, natural resources. Are they a curse or are they a blessing? Now, how does this workshop play a role in that regard to ensure that these natural resources are a blessing for Namibia?
Thank you very much. The curse or blessing, it can be a curse where these resources are being extracted, feels that they are not part of it, they are not benefiting from these resources. What usually happens, and this we have seen elsewhere, from as near as Mozambique, when the gas was founded and explored, people were living normal life. But the moment they started with the production, Suddenly the civil war started. Even the villagers who could not afford a rifle to shoot birds with, suddenly they got automatic rifle. Where did they get it from? Suddenly they can shoot. That's when it becomes a case, because the other people would come to them and say, do you know what? These people that are here, they are taking all your wealth. You are still poor. They found you poor here. They are taking this to enrich themselves. Say, really? The best thing is fight them back. But then it is a curse. But we can turn that curse into a blessing when we benefit directly. How directly? If there is no road, proper road there, put up a road so that even the bicycles can drive in there. The medical facilities, even a clinic where the workers as well as the villagers can access these medical facilities. They don't need to travel long distances to access medical facilities. Schools, all kinds of benefits. They must benefit what comes from this resource. Then it is a blessing. Now that can happen when we listen to them to also identify their need, because that resource is being seen as a commodity that will change their livelihood. They must benefit. It is not that everybody want to be a shareholder to get necessarily cash. No, not necessarily. But the benefit, the infrastructure that you build there, the shops that would come there, that they can have an income to afford them, an income to share with their families, then it is a blessing. Believe me, if it was just a case, these people would have not traveled these long thousands of kilometers to come for a case. They come here because they know that that is what they want, because they don't have it at their places.
Well, you gave the meeting something to ponder on, some food for thought. You said that there are actually some reasons, and some people might make statements and others might think, oh, but hold on, that statement you're making is scaring away investors. But you, in your presentation, said that there are reasons, in your opinion, that actually scare away investors. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yes, we many times refer to, no, it will scare investors. What is it that will scare investors? Investors will be scared for having insecurity in terms of the money that they bring to a country. If there is no law, no regulations, no policy that will take their money. If there is no security of their own workers. If like what we have in the country, what will scare more is when we are kind of like spontaneous. We give you a license and you can explore or you can mine. The next day, we change the rules and say, sorry, you cannot continue. These people have already committed themselves to supply this particular product. And now you cut that, you say, no, that country, you can't trust it. This will scare them. But if they know upfront security of supply, security of their workers, and they will have the services there, this will not scare investors. But also the affordability of the utilities that they will use to do mining. What utilities are we talking about? Water. The water bill is so much that it encroaches in their profit. Even in the social responsibility, they cannot afford, because they have to pay for this water to produce this particular mineral. Electricity, it is so expensive. You have heard in South Africa, many investors are pulling out because of the load shedding, because there is no security for constant electricity. We are not on an island. All these are the issues that really scare investors. But if all these are available, they will come. The skills, if we don't have it, we should not make it too difficult for them to bring an accountant to Namibia. We may have got accountants here, we may have got CA, chartered accountants, but the issue is they do not know how this company's financial system works to bring money here in the country. They know the setup here, but they don't know where these companies are. And most of the time, these companies are multinational, meaning they work in more than one country. So if only from Namibia, you will not know how to deal with the other businesses in Guinea or in Moldova or in Asia or even in Middle East, etc. We must allow that company to bring these skilled people. If we say, sorry, we cannot allow an accountant to come in because we have got Namibian accountants, this will scare them because they know they will struggle. Technicians, when they bring this machinery, just even for exploration, sometimes we force them to buy them. But how can they buy if they're already operating in Mozambique or in South Africa? It is easier for them to just relocate that particular equipment to come and do the exploration so that they know, yes, this particular mineral exists in the country and therefore we can now buy just for Namibia. All these are issues that scare the investors. We must be open-minded to really support and assist the investors to come without all these troubles, because first they must first find out where these resources are and the quantity of these resources. Then we can get into a serious business. But just up front, we put all these roadblocks for them. And they say, no, but it's time wasting because we don't know. How can I bring all my machinery here when I don't know whether this mineral exists? Who will buy it? All these expenses. Now they must bring all their specialists. They must be found in Namibia, and Namibians must first learn those operations. It is time wasting. They don't have that time. But also, our bureaucracy in terms of the person is only coming first to explore. You give him or her 7 days or 14 days or only 2 months. All these are inconveniences. So we must address holistically. Now the purpose of this engagement really is to look at all this. How can we unlock the potential that mining industry has, the mining and energy sector? And we must openly and constructively say, no blame game, no finger pointing, and no accusations, no allegations, but let us look at it and say, we got this resource which is either under the water, we have Deb Marine, mining down there, or under the ground. Allow them to extract, first to find out and to extract, and then we can say, all right, now that you have it, you first start adding value locally and you send out. But we talk too much. That is where we're scaring them. But really, we have got a potential because our product is needed. And believe me, many countries, take for example Qatar, they have got fish, but more so with oil. They are prosperous. Take Ghana. Singapore does not have anything, but they are excelling. How is it? Now we've got gold. We've got diamonds. We got copper. We got lithium. We got iron ore. We can only take 2 of these minerals. It can change the face of this country if we apply our mind and we are open to it. But I think we also have become a victim that our resource, whoever comes on board, they dictate to us where we must sell them. We only know America and EU, but there's Middle East, there's Asia, there's all the others, etc. We can identify and we must be open to sell our minerals and our product globally and not only to one. Like we are being prescribed and say, all right, for me to buy your product, you must do this according to my law. But I am the seller. If that is the case, why don't I sell it to somebody else? So we must also change that mindset.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chekero Toya, the chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee, chairperson on natural resources, for talking to us about this intensive and comprehensive workshop you're having upstairs. But unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that is not the end of this meeting. We'll be discussing various issues, including mine ownership, local participation, value addition, the discovery of oil and gas and renewable resources. But we will be giving you more updates on a daily basis as we get the presentation or the stories. That's it from me, Renate Rengura, and my colleague Isidore Shilongo. It's back to you in the studio.